2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Review, something for all, from 4Z Trailhawk to 3-row L. Our pick? The plug-in hybrid 4Z. Pros: luxurious interior with great tech, go-anywhere capability, refined to drive on-road, strong towing, 4Z plug-in hybrid. Cons: less interior space than many rivals, no 8-passenger version, very heavy, blah V6 and thirsty V8. No other midsize SUV comes close to offering the same range of versions and capabilities as the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It can be had with 2 rows, or 3 thanks to the Grand Cherokee L. It can be a genuine luxury SUV in Overland and Summit trim levels, or a go-anywhere, trail-tackling monster, that's a plug-in hybrid no less, in Trailhawk guise. The other trim levels basically exist somewhere in the middle, with generally positive effect. Its beautiful interior packed with well-executed tech can be enjoyed regardless of which version you get. This something for everyone appeal sure makes the Grand Cherokee easy to recommend to those looking for any number of different SUV types. A 2-row midsize crossover rival for the Chevy Blazer? Check. A 3-row family crossover rival for a Kia Telluride? Check. A luxury alternative to a Mercedes GLE or a BMW X5? Check. A weekend off-roading rival for a Toyota 4Runner? Yep. And the luxury versions can take it to Land Rovers, too. Importantly, we think the Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L makes a compelling case against them all. Interior and technology. Passenger and cargo space. Performance and fuel economy. What it's like to drive. Pricing and trim levels. Crash ratings and safety features. What's new for 2023? The Grand Cherokee Trailhawk will only be available with a 4Z plug-in hybrid powertrain for 2023. For both the Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L, the Limited and Overland now come standard with the 10.1-inch touchscreen, while the Alpine, Limited, and Macintosh, Overland and Summit, sound systems become standalone options on their respective trim levels. What are the Grand Cherokee interior and in-car technology like? The standard Grand Cherokee is offered with an attractively styled but low-feature interior heavy on gloss black accents and smooth surfaces. A heated steering wheel and heated seats are available from the base model on up, with a package, of course, and high trim levels slather on enough leather and niceties to make the Grand Cherokee a credible luxury vehicle. The Tupelo interior and the Summit Reserve is borderline decadent. Depending on how you choose to equip it, the Grand Cherokee ranges from conventionally techy to gadget geek streamland. The base Grand Cherokee includes the 8.4-inch Uconnect infotainment system with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay paired to a 6-speaker audio system, which can be upgraded to a 10.1-inch touchscreen with navigation and either an Alpine or top-flight Macintosh audio system. Connectivity options include Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, USB-A and USB Type-C and HDMI inputs for personal devices. A Grand Cherokee L model loaded up with the Summit Reserve and rear seat entertainment packages will offer more USB ports than most owners could possibly utilize at once. Feel free to prove us wrong. A 10.25-inch passenger side infotainment screen option offers entertainment and comfort options for front-row passengers without tempting the driver with distraction. How big is the Grand Cherokee? The Grand Cherokee is a midsize SUV available in either 2-row, above left, or 3-row Grand Cherokee L, above right, body styles. The L adds 10 inches of overall length, much of which is dedicated to that 3rd row. It's comparably sized to other 3-row crossover SUVs. The Grand Cherokee is technically a crossover as it has a unibody chassis, but its rear-wheel drive powertrain raises the floor and therefore reduces 3rd-row space relative to Kia Telluride or Honda Pilot. It is comparable to the similarly rear-wheel drive Ford Explorer. The Grand Cherokee's load floor is also a bit higher, which applies to the 2-door model as well. Cargo capacity is still pretty strong. You won't find as much space behind the 2nd row as in a Toyota 4Runner or Honda Passport, but 37.7 cubic feet is still on the large side for a midsize SUV. The amount of space behind the 2nd row obviously expands a lot with the L, and is actually decent behind the 3rd. At 17.7 cubes, its cargo space behind the 3rd row, below left, slots in neatly between the Pilot, 16.5 cubic feet, and Explorer, 18.2 cubic feet. The Telluride bests both with more than 21 cubic feet available in the way back. What are the Grand Cherokee fuel economy and performance specs? Although there may be some high-performance SRT offerings in the future, for now, the 2023 Grand Cherokee is available with V6, V8 and plug-in hybrid powertrains. The standard 3.6-liter V6 produces 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. An 8-speed automatic and rear-wheel drive are standard, with various 4-wheel drive systems available, See below. Fuel economy estimates weren't available at the time of this writing for every 2023 Grand Cherokee, but those that were available were basically the same as those of 2022, which we'll share here. Basically, the Grand Cherokee V6 delivers average fuel economy for the segment at 19 miles per gallon city, 26 miles per gallon highway and 22 miles per gallon combined for a four-wheel drive two-row model. Rear-wheel drive is basically the same, while the three-row Grand Cherokee L loses 1 mile per gallon combined regardless of drivetrain. The 5.7-liter V8 is optional only on the Overland and Summit, and is four-wheel drive only. It produces 357 horsepower and 390 pounds-to-foot of torque. It can also tow a maximum of 7,200 pounds versus 6,200 for the V6, both are excellent for a midsize SUV. Fuel economy, on the other hand, is not excellent. It comes in at 14 miles per gallon city, 22 miles per gallon highway and 17 miles per gallon combined for both body styles. The 4Z plug-in hybrid pairs a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 with an electric motor, 8-speed automatic and standard four-wheel drive. Total system output is 375 horsepower and 470 pounds-to-foot of torque. It can tow a maximum of 6,000 pounds, which is still more than the Kia Tellurides of the world. Last year, the 4Z was estimated to go 26 miles on electricity alone and was rated at 56 miles per gallon combined. Should you drive without recharging, the 4Z gets 23 miles per gallon combined. Being the go-to American brand for 4x4s, Jeep offers three named 4WD systems for the Grand Cherokee, though two of them are mechanically very similar. The one offered on Laredo and Limited is a single-speed unit, Quadra-Track I, that behaves much like mainstream all-wheel drive systems, distributing torque to the front and rear axles as dictated by conditions. A more traditional four-wheel drive system, Quadra-Track II, with a two-speed transfer case and therefore a low mode for rock crawling, is found in the Trailhawk as standard and is an option on Summit and Overland. An electronic limited slip differential is added to it in the Trailhawk and Summit, and is an added option on the Overland. Jeep markets this version as Quadra Drive 2. What's the Grand Cherokee like to drive? With so many different variations, saying how a Grand Cherokee drives is very complicated. A base V6 Laredo is going to be pretty different from a V8 powered Summit with their suspension, which are both going to be awfully different from a Trailhawk 4Z. In general, though, expect the Grand Cherokee to drive like a more robust and refined vehicle than, say, a Kia Telluride or Honda Pilot. Although geared up for off-roading, those capabilities really don't hamper it in the same way they do the more rugged Toyota 4Runner. Even the Grand Cherokee Trailhawk, above left, with its knobbier tires, remains perfectly civilized despite a bit more noise and some extra wallowing through corners. This civility is increased further in any Grand Cherokee when you opt for the height-adjustable air suspension, shown at full lift in the above photos, Summit Reserve shown above right. Power from the standard V6 is comparable to various 2- and 3-row midsize crossovers, meaning it's perfectly adequate. The available Hemi V8, by contrast, sounds the part and pulls like a freight train on a highway. Of course, you'll also need a freight train of gas to keep it running. The 4Z is therefore our pick of the litter as it offers the smooth, effortless pull of an electric motor and a turbocharged engine, not to mention more power and torque than the V8. It weighs a lot more, though, but at least that weight is down low, which lowers the center of gravity and enhances that robust, refined feeling mentioned earlier. Should you be keen on venturing off-road, the Trailhawk is the way to go. It comes standard with height-adjustable suspension, which can raise it higher off the ground than a Wrangler Rubicon. It also gets the top-shelf Quadra Drive 2 four-wheel drive system that includes a locking limited slip differential, all-terrain tires, and crucially, a disconnecting front sway bar that radically increases wheel articulation. For 2023, the Trailhawk is only available as a 2-row 4Z, however. Should you not want that, for instance, you want a 3-row Grand Cherokee L, any other 4-wheel drive Grand Cherokee will be more capable off the beaten path than a Telluride, Pilot, etc. due to its low-range capable transfer case and excellent clearances. What other Grand Cherokee reviews can I read? 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4Z First Drive Review. A review of the 4Z plug-in hybrid, including the Trailhawk version, which is now exclusively paired to the 4Z powertrain. 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk Road Test Review. This review focuses more on the Trailhawk and its unique capabilities off-road. Jeep Grand Cherokee L Summit Interior Review. Take a deep dive into the Grand Cherokee's beautiful interior at its best in the Summit trim level. You'll also get to see what's added with the 3-row Grand Cherokee L body style. Jeep Grand Cherokee Touchscreen Review. The Grand Cherokee offers terrific in-car infotainment systems, which we dive into here, including the distinctive passenger side screen. Jeep Grand Cherokee L First Drive Review. Since the two-door Grand Cherokee was launched after the L, some of this review is a bit out of date, but it's our most comprehensive take on what changed for the latest Grand Cherokee generation and the L in general as a three-row SUV. 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee First Drive. A year after driving the L, we got to drive the two-door. If you're mostly interested in the two-door version, this is a good one to read. Jeep Grand Cherokee versus Jeep Grand Cherokee L, what's the difference? We take a look at the key differences between them. What is the 2023 Grand Cherokee price? Although there are a ton of variations, Jeep's pricing strategy is mercifully simple. There are 6 trim levels. Their base prices are shown below, all with a rather hefty $1,795 destination charge included. Add $2,000 for 4-wheel drive and another $2,000 for the 3-row Grand Cherokee L version. Laredo, $41,190 altitude, $45,900 limited, $48,010 Overland, $58,100 Summit, $61,865 Summit Reserve, $68,345. The V8 is a $3,995 option on the Overland and 2 Summit trims. Pricing had not been announced for the 2023 4Z at the time of this writing. Considering the other trim levels jumped in price by a couple $1,000, you can expect a higher price than last year's starting point of $62,490 for the base 4Z and $65,850 for the Trailhawk. The 4Z powertrain can also be paired with the Overland, Summit and Summit Reserve trims. What are the Grand Cherokee safety ratings and driver assistance features? Standard safety equipment includes forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking and pedestrian/cyclist detection, lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic warning, blind spot warning, and adaptive cruise control with stop-plus-go capability. Available options include a driver drowsiness warning system, a front cross traffic warning system, a night vision assist system with pedestrian/animal detection, park assist, both parallel and perpendicular, and a 360-degree camera system. The Grand Cherokee still had not been crash tested by a third party at the time of this writing.